all know him as our kitchen scientist with all, and when I say all, I mean all the answers. So today we're putting that knowledge to the test, and we are trying to stump him in what we like to call this segment, Stump Dan. There you go, Dan. You got your own graphics, so this.
I've made it.
Yep.
I've made it.
Dan, this is my first time meeting you. I'm so excited because I've heard.
I don't want to know what you've heard.
Oh,
I can only
no,
imagine.
you don't.
I can only imagine.
It's all from her.
No, it's all from Jim.
And you know me, I'm not one to exaggerate. So,
Not at all.
our family has come up with their top questions, and we're going to see if Dan can answer them. And he hasn't seen, true or not, hasn't seen, honestly, any of these questions. So, first, we're going to start out with our blushing bride-to-be, Jill.
Yes.
Hit him where it hurts, Jill.
Okay, all right. Go. Well, since I can only think of my wedding right now, since it's a week away, we've all heard the infamous wedding rhyme, something old, something new, something borrowed, something blue. Mm-hmm. Okay, but I don't really know where all that comes from. Where does it come from? Huh, Dan? Huh?
Well, wait.
Did I stump you?
No. I'm just wondering, are we talking about the origin of the saying, or what those things are? Like something old, like something old and something new.
The origin.
For tradition, you want something from your past and something to represent the future. Something borrowed tends to be from like a family member who has a successful union, so you have something that can represent a long-lasting marriage. And blue, you should know this. We did a segment on what colors mean. Blue is a truth and fidelity.
Fidelity. Dan, you hit it right on the head.
Wow.
How did you just do that? It's like I gave you the answer, but I didn't.
Did you?
No, I didn't. I wouldn't
do
that to us.
Because I want to stump Dan. Okay, Dan, you're absolutely right. And
Great.
what I loved is that you said, I always wondered about the borrowed, and it is to go to someone who has a successful marriage and hope that when they give you something, it rubs on and the good fortune
Okay,
comes.
but one little question.
Go.
I'm borrowing something from my best friend who is not married. Can I still borrow something from her? She's a great person.
You know
She's
what?
really nice.
You know what? I say borrow all the love you can get.
I like
and carry
that.
it with you.
Beautiful. All right, I've got another. Now she's my bestie on the show as well, and so you're going to come on. Well, you are too. So
She's borrowing a lot of love.
Let's try to stump Dan.
Okay,
What have we
Dan.
got?
Now, what is escrow in California? No, I'm just kidding. Real estate question. No, I want to know, and this is something, since when I was little, we used to have ice cube races. Why is ice slippery?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Guys, how much time do we have? Ice is so weird. I don't think you know this. Ice, we think of matter in three phases, solid, liquid, and gas. And so you think of ice as the solid phase of water, right?
Yeah.
But it's not entirely solid, ever. It can't be. There's always on the surface, it's always constantly melting and refreezing. So ice has a thin layer of water all the time. It's why if you make, we even did this on the show. When I made a giant clear ice cube and it was beautiful and clear, ice will never stay perfectly clear because that thin layer of water is constantly melting and refreezing, which can create a cloudy image, but also makes this really weird, incredibly thin surface. Like we're talking, it's less than 1,000th of a piece of paper.
Oh,
that's why ice skaters can skate, because the coefficient of friction, which tells you how hard you push against something, like the coefficient of friction is how if you're running, the coefficient of friction is between the sole of your foot and the track. The coefficient of friction of an ice skate on ice is it's something like 200 times less than your shoe on a track because of this microns thin layer of water. It's not all ice.
What was her question?
How many dates have you been on? Dan, do you go on many dates?
Okay, here's
Zero.
Dan, you lost me a coefficient of something.
I just want to show you, we went into the scientific dictionary of encyclopedias of explanations.
He wrote it.
And he literally said word for word. And I was hoping there was one word off, but there wasn't. You're absolutely right.
All right, Shirley.
There you go.
There's still
you're up.
time. I can still be stumped.
Okay.
Okay.
Shirley, go.
So, as a chef, I love ketchup. I know it's a big no-no for a lot of chefs, but I really love ketchup. So I want to know what makes them fancy and not fancy. Like, what's a fancy ketchup? I don't get it.
Where it says
What's a fancy ketchup on the bottle?
Well, fancy, I'm assuming, is a food grade word either from the FDA or the USDA, because you also see it in maple syrup. So it's like a gradation. And with maple syrup, you also have A, B, and C, and BB, which is about clarity and how much it's been refined.
That's maple syrup.
I'm assuming the words apply because I think they're all
do.
just food grade words from like a government organization. I'm assuming that's
USDA.
fancy. Oh, okay.
USDA designation, the standards of U.S. grade.
So he's right.
He's exactly
But
right.
do we have time to really get into ketchup?
But what's the
No,
difference?
Dan.
Ketchup comes from rotten fish guts. I don't think you know that.
What?
I didn't know that. I
No,
didn't know
what?
that.
It has
Southeast Asia.
It has dual origins.
Yeah.
Garum in,
Yep.
in ancient Rome, and then also
Dan.
ketchup, which sort of
Yep.
is like from the Gulf of Tonkin in Vietnam, would both.
Made with bananas.
How does everybody
And
know
fish guts.
this?
Whose idea
Not
is this?
everybody. Not everybody.
I feel so dumb.
Okay, now Lawrence, you're up. So let's see if you can.
Okay,
stump Dan.
smarty pants Dan.
Wow.
I'm gonna stump you.
I've done well so far.
So far. Why does the Easter Bunny
This is good.
carry eggs when we all know that rabbits don't lay eggs?
Very
don't?
good question, Lawrence. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Is this
Wait, can I? I'm gonna admit it right now. I have no idea.
Did you?
But
great?
Hold on, let me just enjoy it.
But let me take a hit. Let me at least walk up to bat.
Yes.
I mean,
Here we
all
go.
of the holidays we have in this time of year, whether it's Passover in the Jewish tradition or Easter, Nowruz, we have a lot of holidays that talk about rebirth, and spring this time of year is all about things
Right.
growing. So that's the egg imagery.
Yes.
I know why eggs are important to this time of year, but I will admit I have no idea why a rabbit carries them.
So please follow me on
Okay.
Instagram.
Yeah, exactly.
I
So he
stumped
was
Dan.
stumped, and let me just say for all of you out there wondering what it is, you were on the right track, Dan. It turns out that the egg-toting Easter bunny evolved from a mythic German goddess named Ostara, and in the Anglo-Saxon myth, Ostara is the personification of the rising sun. So again, you said about springtime, and she associated spring with the fertility goddess. She is a friend of all children to amuse, and she changed her pet bird, Big Bird, into a rabbit. And the rabbit went on and spread out little eggs.
You learn something new every day.
There you go. So only one stump for Dan Cohen.
I stump, Kim educates.
There you go. There you go. Well, from Dan, right next, we're going to a great segment. And this is with floral design expert Amy Morella. I
can't wait
Come
for
on
this.
back. There she is.
I'm going to take these gorgeous springtime blooms and turn them into a beautiful centerpiece.